I had a moment if my eyes.
We
get
are keeping
freaked
an
out.
eye on that, though. I do have a son. Liam is 6 years old, and he's with his mummy in another town about 2 hours away from here.
Oh, fair.
Yeah,
He looks just like Joe too. It's adorable.
Does he?
Yeah.
yeah, he's an animal, man. He's awesome.
Well, does he look like Joe now or Joe back when I last remember Joe?
Yeah, probably like when you
That-
remember him. Yes, that's what he
The
looks
latter.
like.
So
then.
you had that hair down here and sort of
Yeah.
like that
Well, they
sexy
keep
surfer look.
they keep giving him the mohawk, but he does. He's grown his hair out before, and it's some pretty beautiful locks, I must say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know
Oh,
if they're
that's
quite as bad as Joel's, but you know. Hey, I thought you were gonna cut those off when you turned 30 or something like that.
yeah.
Not that I would like you to. I love them, but
I think they're in it for the long haul.
Yeah.
Like, wait till the kids start climbing up them and just
Yeah.
and then decide.
Makes makes the trees feel more comfortable around you too when you're in your line of work.
Yeah, exactly.
You ever like clean shaven, parted hair? Those trees would be like, I got a bad feeling about this. With the
Yeah.
dreads, they're like, I think we're good.
They feel safe.
I think he's gonna do some surgery on my treeness, and everything's gonna be fine.
Yeah, like I think people would be more used to me. Well, I don't know. To be honest, I think one of the reasons that stopped me from, because I go through like fits and starts of thinking, oh yeah, when it's like summer, I think, I should probably just get rid of all this hair because it's like, yeah, hot as hell. And then,
Because yours are
but
all real, right? That's all yours.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, no wigs, nothing.
Yeah.
All right,
Uh,
we want to get into it, but first, I want to ask you, how does it feel to be on a podcast with over 175 listeners?
oh my god, guys, you don't even know. Like, I can't even.
If I would have told you 10 years ago when I saw you that you would be here right now, what would you have thought?
Wow, I think I'd probably think much the same as I do right now.
You're like, sounds reasonable.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, okay then. Yeah, sweet. No,
So
that.
you've heard a couple of the episodes, yeah?
Oh yeah, I've listened to all of them. Like,
We didn't scare you off or trigger you or anything.
no, I thought it was sick because it made me like it felt like I was actually just sat there. Like, I didn't realize that you guys had video to go with this. So I've just been listening to the audio, like as I've been driving, which is probably safer than driving and watching the video. But
Well, actually, bro, this is the first video we've done.
Oh.
Because this is the first Zoom that we've done. So that's.
Oh yeah, there's so many firsts with you.
Yeah.
oh my god, you didn't tell me this. I would have done something different with like, yeah.
Shame on me.
I would have, yeah. But, oh, sick. There we are then.
Yeah,
But
well, we're super
yeah, I've been
stoked to have you.
I've been listening to all of them, and it's cool because it feels like I'm just like actually catching up, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, that's
Catching up with real life and what's been going on.
Yeah, exactly.
all those years in between, while we
Yeah.
were all growing up.
That's
Yeah.
basically like the kind of the reason why we're doing this to begin with, because we have these kind of conversations with each other and other friends, and so we don't. I don't know. I guess we don't typically try and have much of an agenda when we do these, but other than just hearing people's stories, because we've got we've just got good feedback from people kind of relating to what we've gone through, and it's had a small impact on at least a handful of people. So I think that's kind of the the driving force behind this is just everyone's got a different path, and it's just interesting to hear about where life has taken people, especially for people like ourselves who grew up a certain way, and then kind of how they got to where they are in their 20s, 30s, etc. So thanks for being on, man. We were excited to
So
hear
happy
about
to have you.
what's going on in your life. So you basically, like Cecilia was telling me, this was what she told me. She was like the first time she met you, you were on stage speaking tongues or something like that.
No. Hold on.
What?
Kind of.
My bad.
We
I
were
shoulda-
up at the front of a church, like praying Somebody was praying for all of us. It was the first time I visited you guys. And
Yeah.
like at some point, like, I don't know, like we were all like praying in tongues or something. I was like supposed to be trying to get prayed for to receive my prayer language and like all that. And then like you and I think maybe your sister were up there. I
Oh
don't know.
God.
But you were like 12, I think, or something, or maybe younger. I thought you were 12, but
Oh, maybe. Oh, I don't remember that.
it was
Like,
a long time ago.
yeah, maybe
It
this is
was
like one of those things that I've blocked out of my mind. Like,
the pastor was Ambrose or whatever.
oh
Something
yeah,
like that.
geez, yeah, that
Way
was
back.
ages ago. Yeah, like I actually found a picture from like one of your first trips out, and it was like after because you when you were in France,
Yeah.
and yeah, and like the first thing you said when you came off the plane was like uh about your hair because you had it like attacked by some French lady or whatever.
Yeah, they're trying to do it. Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, so
Yeah, it all cut off.
So how'd you grow
yeah,
up?
so I it's arguable that I still haven't grown up, but yeah,
Let's say you have grown up.
let's say that I have. I pay taxes now, so yeah, I feel grown up.
Oh, there it is. Yeah. Now I gotta figure it out. I don't really know.
Yeah, so I grew up in Wales, and just pretty much moved around all of my childhood, like all around South Wales.
Mhm.
Yeah, so by the time I was 18, I think I'd lived in maybe like 31 different houses,
Oh
which
wow.
is yeah,
That's insane.
which is pretty intense. But hey, it's cool. Like,
What was the reason for the moving? Well, like,
oh,
what
I
was
don't know.
was a lot of that like when you were with your family, like younger, or was that when you after you kind of moved out?
Yeah, yeah, just as kids, like when like as a family. Um, yeah, it was like lots of like stupid reasons, really. Like landlords evicting us because he rents a house out to a young family with like three feral boys who managed to like to turn the back garden into mud because they were playing football or whatever in it, which
Yeah,
is
yeah.
kind of a given.
Right.
Right.
You would think, yeah.
Yeah.
Some-
So yeah, I ended up getting evicted in situations like that. But yeah, so
Nice.
but I don't really know how we ended up moving around all the time. So
Yeah,
that's kind of cool.
and you were, if I remember right, were you homeschooled all the way?
Oh
From
yeah,
young child through high school, what kind of religion or faith were you raised in, and all that good stuff? Great, thanks.
yeah. I've never been to school. I was like only homeschooled, which
Okay.
is yeah. And then I w- I went to yeah. So that was like all through like my childhood through to finishing high school,
If I
and
remember
then
right, homeschooling's pretty rare in the
yeah,
US, right? Or
that's the thing. Like, so homeschooling, I mean, there's a few more people who do it now, people who are like, yeah, I don't know, more, it's a bit more common now, but it's nothing like the homeschool culture in the US.
okay.
We were, yeah, I know, it's, fuck the system in your own way. But yeah, we were just pretty much like on our own doing it. And at some point in my life, I remember meeting one person, and they were like, "Oh yeah, like I'm homeschooled," and I was like, "Oh my god, are you?" Another one? Whoa!
More
Like,
than us four children.
yeah,
You can speak.
yeah. So yeah, so that was kind of it, and I think mostly the reasons for my mum choosing to homeschool us because was yeah, she just disagreed with a lot of the school
Yeah.
system and like kind of especially when it came to like religious education and like yeah, that sort of side of things. um yeah, and she just decided to homeschool us forever.
Wow. She's badass for sure. I love that
Oh
mom.
yeah,
She's one of the coolest, nicest people I
yeah.
know.
She's
But
like easily like the. I've always said she's the strongest woman I've ever met. Like, which is a nice thing to be able to say about your mom, I suppose.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, people have such I don't know, relationships filled with such tension between their parents now. So, these days, and I mean, I guess at all times is it's kind of, I guess, always been that way at some point or another, but it's nice, that you have or I think it seems to be that you have a good relationship with your mom. And there's
oh
nothing like
yeah,
a good mom, because a good mom is what makes a great man, I think, anyhow. So,
yeah.
nice.
Yeah, we've got a really good relationship now, and
Yeah.
I mean we've always had I've always had this relationship with my mum where I could always tell her anything,
Yeah.
and yeah, that's always been cool. And it's not always been like for, I don't know, advice. It's been like, well, now it can sometimes take the debates of like challenging. I don't know. I might challenge her like religious views as
Yeah.
opposed to mine, and just be like,
Yeah.
oh, like just because I love somebody else's opinion on stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And it makes for good conversation,
definitely
to me.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So the homeschooling thing, like that's it's pretty much the same in the states. Like most people that homeschool that I knew, it was basically for kind of religious motivations. Um, and I don't know. I mean, I guess in a way I can kind of understand it. Like freaking, especially these days. Like I don't know. It's just seems like everything is so like politically or there's some kind of motivation or agenda. It's like it's not just like putting facts out there and letting people decide, but
Yeah.
very much the same in the states of families trying to basically protect their children from the world. And to that point, I think that's kind of why a lot of what like probably what's happened in our lives and
Hmm.
like a lot of our friends' lives, I think, kind of stem from that idea that you know kids need to be like protected from ideas and things like that. And
yeah,
I think there's something to be said for like training your kid a certain way and not just like throwing them out to the wolves,
Right.
and anything
yeah,
goes, but to like keep them from pretty much society and like form your own little sect of something. It's like it just
It doesn't work.
I've never really seen that work out too well. It always gets kind of weird or something, or like it totally backfires and the kids just go like hog wild when they finally get out from under that. And I've seen that firsthand many times. Yeah.
yeah.
Like out of
Yeah,
control.
that's it. Like I agree. Like that sort of like, I don't know. Like it's more about like equipping, because we live in the real world. Like you're not gonna
Right.
live in that bubble forever. I mean, some people try, but like yeah, you're always gonna have to take part in the real world at some point. So like,
Exactly.
how are you gonna deal with, I don't know, the traumas of like the real world when like
Yeah.
you don't know like anything about it?
Right.
Yeah.
And that would lead me to my next question. How do you think, how did you deal with that? Or maybe we should step back and, go a little bit, more to childhood coming into adulthood. I don't know. But, you know, for me, I remember the first time that I felt like I experienced the quote real world would have been when I started waiting tables. And like you have no idea. Like I step into that world, right? In my late 20s, mid to late 20s. And all of a sudden any drug that I wanted was at my fingertips. I
Yeah,
literally could get any drug just from walking through the establishment of a restaurant behind the scenes, right? And I know, like, now that I'm older and I have more experience, a lot of servers are just, that's how they live, right? And I'm like sitting there. Now I think that because of my age and I was a mother and things like that, I did have that experience of being like, okay, I don't want to really mess with that.